This is a demonstration on the SearchDroid system. SearchDroid is a search result refining assistant, and it would sit between a search engine and the user and would refine search results based on the different topics it identifies in a user query and the relationship between those different topics. So in this demonstration we'll compare the results produced by Google and the SearchDroid system for a query that contains more than one topic and describe the relationship between those topics. So for example, we can take the query project failures due to poor requirements management. So in this query we can clearly identify two topics: project failures and poor requirements management. So users would be expecting search results that describe project failures as a result of poor requirements management. So it's better to have results that focus on requirements management rather than overall details about project failures, because the intention of this query would most often be to find the relationship between project failures and requirements management. So let's take a look at the first two search results. So as you can see, the first search result produced by Google doesn't provide that much of information. It displays several stats, and for you to view the entire document you need to log in, have some kind of registration. So you can't guarantee the quality of this document because they have provided a proper preview of the document itself. So the second result is a VCS study on project failure. So this is an overall study on project failure, and it's not focused on poor requirements management. So the user would actually have to go through the entire document in order to find details about the relationship between project failures and requirements management. So we can try the same query using the SearchDroid system. So as I said, the SearchDroid system is a search result refining assistant, and it sits between a search engine and the user. So you can specify what search engine it should use and the amount of search results pages it has to go through. So a search result page here is not a single search result, it's an actual result page. Like for example, in Google, a search result page consists of roughly about 10 search results. So if I select 4, that will be telling the system to go through roughly about 40 search results and to rearrange them and re-rank them and present them in a new ranked order. So what it will do now is it will send this query to search engine, get the results from Google, and read through each and every document it retrieves and search for the topics it identifies. So the topics are project failure and poor requirement management, and the presence of the topics is not enough. It needs the to each other, or else there could be results where these topics are mentioned individually and they do not have any relationship to each other. So that's not the intention of this query. So the system will actually go and check whether these topics are related to each other within the document. So it checks for the presence of the topics as well as the relationship between these topics. So and it will re-rank the results based on those relationships found. So as you see, these are the re-ranked results. So the first result, it will display the original position of the results. So this says page 2 result 6. This means the 6th result in page 2. In the second results page of Google, 6 results. So this is result 9 from page 4. So now let's take a look at these two results. So this says new study from IAG Consulting. So it states poor requirements and so it directly talks about project failure and requirements regarding that. So if you look at this document, you can see it talks about project failures and requirements process. So this is directly related to the query and directly represents what the query states, as in the relationship between requirements management and project failure. So if you compare this with the first result produced by Google, you can see that the first result produced by the search engine by SearchDroid is far more relevant to the search query. So now let's move on to the second result. So if you go to the second result, once again it states project failure and requirements and the requirements management of process. So this is focused on requirements management. So if you compare this with the second Google result produced by Google, you can see that this is more focused on project on requirements management and project failures. So as you can see, the first two results produced by this system is far more relevant to the user query than the results produced by Google. So the system can actually cut down on the time that users take to do their research, because most of the research would involve multiple topics where users research on different topics and try to find the relationship between those different topics. So those topics can be of one research field or belong into several research fields. So whatever it is, whatever it is, the system can actually sort out the results that show more relevance between these topics and which are more relevant to the user query. So this one more thing to state is that the SearchDroid system has an interface that is similar to a search engine, because then the user doesn't have to get familiar with another new interface, because they are already familiar with a user interface, the user interface of a search engine. So this is very similar to the user interface of a search engine, and you have the search box even in the results pages, so you can again enter a query from here. So it will be online web-based system where the user can use whatever their browser that they like. So for example, users who use Firefox would be heavily dependent on their plugins. So since this is a web system, it won't interfere with their browsing habits, so it will be very easy for them to use it because of the interface.